Hey there. Welcome to episode number 8 of The Enlightened Normal Dudes.
Hey there.
Hey there. I'm Shaun.
And I'm Cory.
Hey, we got that swag going on tonight.
We do. Shaun hooked us up with some sick hats.
We got some more swag coming for you guys too.
Absolutely, man.
Cory spent all day working on it today. He was sending me videos of X-Men helmets and stuff.
Yeah, I was tirelessly working, man. It's rough.
Tiredly working.
Yeah,
That was pretty awesome. I think we got a good episode going on tonight. It might be fairly entertaining.
I think it will be entertaining, and I think it's like just super pertinent to our world currently.
Our modern society of being manly and manly.
Yeah.
Um, Being a man in 2025, do we open doors? Do we pay bills? Do we cry in the truck? Or all three of them? I know I cry in the truck a lot.
Yeah, no kidding. All right.
I I take those estrogen blockers on a regular basis.
I've heard that about
Yep, I do.
yeah. So there is a economist that I really like. I've actually asked you to look into him before, so I'm sure that you've never looked into him before.
Probably.
But his name is Scott Galloway. Um, what's actually cool about him, so he is more on the liberal side of the spectrum.
Yep,
So
that's
he's
why
not
I
somebody
listen
that
to
would
him.
be in your sphere necessarily, but I think that
He
you would
probably didn't hit my algorithm.
probably not. But I think you would really like him. And one of the cool things about him is that he was on to what we are now kind of collectively embracing is like our crisis among young men and them really being like kind of withdrawn from society and not knowing their place. He was onto this like 10 years ago, calling this out as a problem, and he was ahead of everybody on the curve. So I actually wanted to, in real time, get your reaction to a quick clip from him, and then maybe we can jump our discussion off from there.
Yeah, absolutely do it.
All right. Can you see what we got there?
I sure can.
Here we go.
Society that it makes sense up front to assume at some point you need to take economic responsibility of your household, which sometimes means getting out of the way and being more supportive of your partner that might be better at that whole money thing. The whole point of prosperity, the whole shooting match, that's the means, but the end is to immediately pivot to the second stool of masculinity, and that is to be a protector. If you think about the jobs you associate with masculinity, military, fireman, cop, at the end of the day, they're protecting. And I think the most disappointing thing about some of the men we would naturally look to as role models for masculinity, whether it's the wealthiest man in the world or the president, they've skipped the whole protection part. I think that being sued concurrently by two women for sole custody of
Yeah.
a child.
And to be fair, leave the political part out of it.
Yeah, but he's making great points.
I think we need to stop pathologizing young men's desire to have relationships and want sex. I think that sexual desire among young men is fire. It can be destructive. But I also think, for the most part, it's a wonderful thing that if channeled correctly, makes you want to be a better man, make you want to dress well, make you want to be in better shape, make you want to have a kindness practice, make you want to demonstrate intellect, demonstrate humor. There's nothing wrong with getting out there and wanting to meet people and have a wonderful partner. And quite frankly, stop watching porn, get out there and make your own. I think a lot of young men are.
All righty.
No, that's a very powerful message. The old script's dead. That whole man up script is dead.
Well, I think it's dead. Though, well, like you said, like the caricature that you have in your head of like the 1950s man that like does everything and he's like stoic because he's just working his butt off, or you go back to your 1800s, living on the range man who's like a do everything man. I think that men have to evolve. And certainly we've done some things societally that have inhibited a positive growth direction for men. And we're kind of realizing that we need to correct. But yeah, you go ahead and jump in.
Well, he did say one thing. A lot of men these days are actually choosing to stay single.
Mhm.
And a lot of it has to do is, why would you want to jump into a relationship? Why would you want to get married? Because the majority of marriages, 70% of them are 70% of divorces are initiated by women. That's a scary statistic because the men are typically willing to put in the work more than the women, because the women typically want to abandon the relationship or the marriage quicker because this sounds so bad, and I don't like saying it, but they're not satisfied. They want to go to the next better or greater thing. And I'm not saying that men don't do that the same way, but it's kind of a scary statistic that 70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Well, I want to push back just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
I do think that there is some truth to what you're saying. I think that definitely just societally, we live in a society now. It's like a throwaway society, right? Like
Yeah,
nothing
so
is built to last
that's
anymore.
kind of where I was headed with that more than anything.
But with that being said, like what Scott Galloway has been pointing out and what we're kind of talking about is that for a multitude of different reasons, from the changing work environment to women striving higher, faster in the collegiate setting, to masculinity kind of being frowned upon like the last 20 years, like this kind of overcorrection of the toxic masculinity movement, where sure, there is negative masculine energy, like if you're a man and you can beat somebody up, certainly there is a time to beat somebody up that is positive, that like, okay, I'm defending my family or, whatever. Or there's a time when you're just being a prick and you got wasted and you're beating somebody up. And then I think that we could
Well,
like
that's
kind of call that.
obviously negative.
Sure. And I think that would be like what we collectively would recognize now as toxic masculinity. I think for too long, there was this idea that any masculinity was toxic, which is obviously wrong. And I think that's messed a lot of guys up. And now we have a lot of men that aren't very masculine, and, we're the
Well,
ones to blame. Not us guys. I mean, look at this facial hair on both of us, man.
yeah, no doubt. Look at this masculine beard right here.
Bro, that's a estrogen blockered up beard. That is masculine as hell.
Exactly. And I mean, you lost half your power 2 weeks ago whenever you shaved
And
or
I
cut
still
your
got
beard
way
down.
more than most people.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But you always hear man up though. It's always man up. It's
It's funny, yeah.
never
It's just a
it's
time honored
never the men
phrase.
aren't supposed to feel anything. It's cool. Just don't worry about man up. Suck it up. Suck it up. Always suck it up. Never supposed to feel or show any kind of emotion. And that's what the norm is. But back to the men are supposed to be the leaders, supposed to be the providers in the family dynamic. It doesn't mean that it shouldn't be a shared responsibility in the household or shared partnership. It doesn't mean that there's any gender specific roles in a household. It just means that, there's a masculine and a feminine.
Yeah.
And a male will thrive in a masculine and a feminine environment. And what's really funny is we went to church this past Sunday, and the service was about stand firm and act like a man. And it's about the male and feminine role in the relationship. And, it doesn't mean to play it down to your partner. Don't belittle them, but, play the role of the man, lead, cherish, honor, appreciate, always value. But that should be reciprocated by the other side too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times guys get burnt out by not being appreciated. And yeah. And then when
Sorry,
they speak,
you wanted to come up.
But that leads me back when they speak up about what's bothering them, it's man up. And then, the cycle continues.
Truth.
But the man should provide provide positive energy, emotional support, financial effort. Both financial effort should count on both sides.
Yes. Yeah. T and I had a really good conversation yesterday. She asked me flat out, just because I'm actually reading a book by Scott Galloway right now. It's called Notes on Being a Man. And you know that even my view of this has changed recently, particularly with all the stuff that I went through health wise. The idea of taking myself and my wife's, our household security into my hands and being more responsible and proactive about that. Because going through all the stuff that I went through is the first time that it's like the quote unquote chink in my armor, at 43 years old, where I'm like, feel my mortality and wonder, physically, will I be okay in different situations? God forbid something happened, would I be all right? And so that aspect of masculinity has really come into focus for me. And so in this discussion, I said, well, I think that men more than anything should be the protectors. And not only physically, and again, this doesn't mean that women can't contribute to that, or sometimes in certain relationships, maybe even better, just like you were saying. This is not a one size fits all thing.
It's not a gender specific role.
Yeah, and this might be a thing where in more relationships than not, just because this is kind of how we're made, this is how it shakes out.
By
But
the way, I'm
yeah,
all good with being a stay-at-home dog dad.
true that. Hell yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, T and I are always fighting over that job. Well, not the dad part. Yeah, but so in talking to her and like for me going to therapy recently, like the big thing that's come into focus is that men should be the protectors. And that's not only physically more often than not, but mentally and emotionally, And so with that, part of what I think in a relationship, whoever's wearing that protector hat, they need their partner to look out for their mental and emotional well-being because they are the one that takes on that role, you know? But with that being said, you also have to own that and you have to practice good mental hygiene. You have to seek help when you need it. You have to keep yourself well so that you can be in that protector role. So yeah, it's a really dynamic thing, but I think the modern man, just needs to morph from historically what they were and realize that now in a world that's psychologically and mentally a lot scarier than it's ever been, just with the inundation of information and different stimuli all the time, that whereas maybe we only needed to protect physically before, that we could also protect the people around us mentally and emotionally. And that means not being as reactive or realizing that the things that we say can cut people or trying to diffuse situations as opposed to amp them up. And with that being said, those around us can help us out in trying to make sure that we're policing ourselves if they notice that the toll is becoming too much. And the modern man needs to look out for themselves and also learn to reach out when they need help.
We should always be trying to de-escalate, especially if you're in a disagreement with anyone, your partner, a friend, anything like that. Always try to de-escalate and get to the root of the problem versus, throwing stones. You can't unring a bell. You can't unthrow, or you can't uncast a stone once it's been thrown.
It's deep.
That
You
was
can't
deep.
uncast a stone.
And when you throw a stone into the
Except
ocean,
if you get the time stone from Avengers, then you can, in
that is a true statement, but you can't,
uncast a stone.
you don't know how deep a stone's going to sink if you throw it in the ocean.
Oh my God, these metaphors. Wow. Wow, the more you know.
The more you know. This is because I have my thinking cap on.
I feel you. Oh man, the thoughts are just immense right now. I can't
I'm
even
just letting you
articulate
know
them.
that I'm very articulate right now,
But you
and
are.
with my thinking cap,
You're the articulator in chief of this episode.
articulate it. I've been articulated.
Yeah. But and I think that you and I, particularly with what we've already put out on this and going through our struggles and the fact that we've sought help, um, in different forms, whether it be friendships, spouses, professional help, whatever, that has been a next level like unlock for being a man. That when once you realize that it's okay to seek help, that mental hygiene is important for you in particular, also you really pursuing your physical health,
Yep.
and that is helping your mental health, just all those things. But to me, being a man is about being that strong person. And again, I don't mean this to sound like 1950s. Like, of course, there are times when women in relationship are the quote unquote strong one compared to a man, and that is perfectly fine. We are just talking about the kind of normal hierarchy of nature. But in any relationship, as long as it's happy, man, more power to you. I'm here for it.
Yep.
But yeah.
Well, that just leads me to another thought that I was thinking.
Oh my God, another thought that I was
Another
thinking. You're on
thought.
fire tonight.
Jeez, I can't take you anywhere. You used to be fun.
All right, good. Don't lose it.
So when a guy goes silent, doesn't necessarily mean that he's upset or mad or anything. Sometimes he just genuinely needs time to process what he's thinking. And maybe he just doesn't want to argue at that point. He wants to de-escalate, pull away for a second, go silent, because he knows anything he's going to say is just going to make the situation worse.
Yeah. I will say though, because and say like jumping
I know
off.
that it's an emotional trauma response. Yes, I understand it
No,
is.
I know, and I was going to say like jumping off of the attachment disorders that we just talked about in the last
Yeah.
episode. The key there though is because like that's one of my coping mechanisms. But what I've had to learn is that I'm doing it in a negative way if I just go quiet and I'm like just being cold and quiet. If I at least speak up and say, listen, I need some time just to process. Everything will be fine. We will talk about it, but I just need time. Like I have to at least give like that olive branch. Otherwise, I'm kind of using it manipulatively. Yeah, manipulatively. Does that make sense?
Say it again.
Manipulatively.
Okay. I was just
Yes.
making
But that
sure
makes
we're on the
sense,
same
right?
page. Yeah, it made sense.
Yeah, because like that's like you're trying to hold the other person's like emotions hostage, and like they're wondering, oh my God, is everything going to be okay? How bad is this? Da, da, da. And like, so you know what you're doing. But like I've learned, because that's one of my things, and particularly like my family, that at least if I say, particularly to my spouse, but it could even be family member, friend, whoever, like, listen, everything's cool. I just need time to process this. I don't want to talk about it right now, but we will.
Well, I find myself doing it, and it's not even in conflict. Sometimes I'm just tired and I don't want to talk.
Right. But you
You
can
know,
say that too. Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything's wrong. Sometimes I just am tired. I'm worn out. You know, you get done working and you're like, I just need 30 minutes. Like, I don't want to talk. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm not happy, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I just need to
That's been a running
be
joke
alone
with
with my
T and
thoughts.
I, particularly working like 12-hour shifts in the hospital setting. It just whoops you.
Yeah.
And when I would get home, like she's happy to see me. She loves me, and I love that she loves me and she's happy to see me. But like I'll sit down on the couch and she's just like going on about her
Thank you.
entire day and
Yeah.
whatever it said. And it's not that
Been
I
there,
don't
done that.
care. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not that I don't care, but I'm like, listen, I just worked for 12 hours. I've been ear raped for 12 hours where
Yeah.
whatever anybody says, I just can't say no. I have to listen. So please just let my ears just let them go for a hot minute. Give me a little bit and I'll, and like now it's funny because once in a while she'll catch herself doing it and she'll just start laughing. I'm like, thank
Exactly. I
you.
mean,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't
But
know.
yeah, that's a separate issue,
That's
then,
a separate issue.
but I get what you're saying. I take your point.
I need a moment. I mean, like, I need 30 minutes. Just, I don't want to talk. I don't want to think about anything.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I want to stare at the wall for 30
Well,
minutes.
I think like where she would get like mixed signals on it is like I would like put on the news or something, back when I
Yeah.
was working day shift. And so she would think that I'm like choosing something else over her. But like when we finally talked about it, I was like, I don't even know what the hell they're saying. It's just background noise. Like
Well,
I'm
that's
not even
because you're
like
watching
listening. It's just
MSNBC.
there.
They're gibberish anyway.
They are. They are. But yeah, I mean, but so once she realized that I wasn't like choosing some other thing over her, that it was just background noise meant to just let my mind drift, that that we had good conversations, and now it's like a source of like comedy for us. That once in a while, if she catches herself, she'll just like start laughing, and I'll just or like if she's doing it, I'll just like constantly like look over and like give her these little like death stares, and then finally she's like, oh, okay, okay.
But, um, instead of having an argument too, it's like, this is the same argument that keeps repeating. I'm just going to stay silent this time and not have the argument. There's
Yeah,
that
well,
aspect
but
too.
that's probably, yeah, at that point, like if you've got that level of an issue, you probably need to talk about it, though. Maybe not in that particular time,
Well, that
but
sounds like
like
a lot of
if that's
work.
like a thing, it does. But it also sounds like that relationship is going to have some problems if that's not addressed.
Maybe, potentially. That's yet. We'll see.
All right.
We
So
don't know.
what's the outline dictate next?
The out time. How should you show up for your partner? The 5 daily habits that make her feel chosen.
What
What do
are
you
some
think?
of your habits that make your neighbors feel
Well,
chosen?
you know me. Notice the small stuff. Saw you were stressed. Made your coffee.
No,
How
no,
do you
no, no,
like
no,
it?
no. I didn't say what she does make you feel special. No, no, notice the small stuff.
She makes me feel stressed. I'm not even going to go there. How do you make tea feel special in the morning? You leave the house and go to
Uh,
work. I got you. Yeah.
yeah, like in the morning, she's the one who's really up early. I'm not, particularly with my schedule right now. Honestly, like the stupidest thing, like I just make sure the coffee's ready for her, and like that means the world to her.
Honestly, I think just showing appreciation for your partner, just saying, hey, I appreciate what you do for me, even the small stuff, and not taking things for granted and not just because the little things become normal doesn't mean that it's still
Hmm.
not an effort. And don't think it's just something that is expected all the time. It's still a choice by your partner to put in that effort, to invest in you, to
Absolutely.
give you, don't always think that it's something that's always going to happen, that always has to happen. That's,
I
I
mean,
think
I
that's the
think
biggest,
the
that's the
big,
biggest thing.
yeah, I think the
Reciprocation,
big thing,
huge.
reciprocation is huge, but I think the big thing for me is like T is just the center of my world. She's my best friend. So like she's
Yeah.
at the center of everything.
Yeah. But I mean, just gratitude for each other, just being
Yeah,
thankful for what you do and what you contribute to each other and how you make each other better every day. The
yeah.
shared, the shared experiences, not giving up on each other because shit gets hard or things get hard.
Yeah, be
I guess
careful,
we can,
Mr. Potty Mouth. God, after that
edit that
whole
out,
don't
right?
be a dick segment last week. Jeez.
Patent pending.
Which, by the way, made one of the best shorts ever. Best 1 minute clip ever.
Yeah. Did it? I don't think I watched that.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
can check it out on my
Oh, yeah.
Instagram page. It's Captain
Oh,
Shawnee,
we'll make sure it
Captain
gets there.
underscore Shawnee. Um, but no, I think the gratitude part of it is the big thing. Um,
Well, and I think
appreciations. Just
also
say thank
being
you.
introspective.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
thank yous
just
go a
being
long way.
introspective and being they do go a long way.
Introspective goes where?
Yeah. No, just being introspective and wanting to better yourself mentally opens up the ability for you to have more conversations with your partner, and that's not just something on our side. That's in a relationship. Ideally, both people are doing that, because then when you're having more conversations and you're actually in a mode of wanting to grow personally, which ultimately helps you grow as a couple, that's like a huge like unlock too, like a cheat code for a relationship. Like if you are doing some introspective work on yourself and you can bring that into your relationship and grow with your partner, like you've got something really special.
I also want to let all the ladies out there know that guys are kind of naive And contrary to popular belief, we're not psychics, nor mind readers, nor very intuitive on anything. So if something's bothering you, it's probably best just to gently say, hey, I don't like it when you do. This is bothering me. Something along those lines. Typically, we can take it pretty well until it. I know
maybe,
Cory can take.
maybe you.
It well. Cory can take it well. But no, we're just not mind readers. Today, Junior. Giggity. You got to get something different. You got to get something different, man.
I got these different tabs and stuff. I know. I got to elevate my game.
If you're gonna play the part, you got to get it better.
I know. Well, you know what I did too is I added way too many sounds, so now I'm just overwhelmed even looking at them.
You can't rename them.
No, I can, but there's just too many. I probably need like 20 good ones that I just use those, because then I can be like on them. But like I've got so many that like I could scroll for like an entire minute and not get through all of them.
But also, showing up for your partner, I think another strategy is owning your mistakes.
Absolutely.
Don't be defensive. Own your mistakes. Take accountability when you're wrong.
What's one of the big things that, you know, when you're in a relationship,
Yeah.
or what's one of the things that you find yourself admitting freely that you do wrong?
Man, I'm perfect, so I don't know. Being too humble.
Ooh, oh, I didn't realize that this was an interview. I work too hard. I
I work
care
too
too
hard. I
much.
care too much.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm too reliable.
I think that my biggest thing is I don't set boundaries well enough,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm too much of seriously. This is
No, I'm
a peep
genuinely listening.
a peep. I'm too much of a people pleaser,
Mm-hmm.
and
And you do please
then
people.
I'll wait.
It's not working.
But
There we go.
so
Yes, you are too much of a people pleaser.
I let little things pile up and bother me, and then finally I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this,
Mm-hmm.
and
So
I'm not.
it would be fair to say that maybe historically you haven't been the best communicator on your end.
Communication is probably the worst aspect, but I think I make up for it in almost every other facet.
Would you say that you love too hard?
I wouldn't say that at all, actually, but I think that I make up for it in every other way. But communication is not
Yeah.
a strong suit. I will agree with that.
So in future relationships, do you think that maybe that's something that you're going to try to do better? That
Absolutely.
because maybe like historically,
Not hold back anymore is what I'm thinking.
well, right? Because like I think that it was well intended, right? Because you were trying to not disrupt things. You're trying not to maybe make assessing it. You're not sure how big of a problem it really is,
Exactly.
But then yeah, those things build up. But you kind
They
of recognized,
they
yeah,
build up. I mean, I've learned that sometimes you bring something up and it either gets dismissed or it's suck it up, that's how it is, and then you
man,
bring it up.
you've dated some rough chicks, man. Suck it
Yeah.
up. That's how it is. Now hand me my cigarette.
um I've actually heard that verbatim, by the way.
That doesn't surprise me. Was that the biker chick?
That was the biker chick. um but it's like, and you finally get to the point where it's not even worth the argument,
Yeah.
so you just don't have the argument.
Yeah, but the sad part, right, is like, I mean, you obviously know that, like, if you get to that point in a relationship, then chances are that's probably not a good long-term relationship.
Yeah, I understand that, but it doesn't mean that the feelings aren't still there, and
100%.
it doesn't mean that you don't care for the person. It doesn't mean that you don't have a real powerful or strong connection. It just means
100%.
that both of you need to work on that communication skill, and
Well,
you
yeah, it
know,
has to be where it has to be a relationship where you can have that conversation that will ultimately lead to the introspection that both of you need to have in order to like further that as a goal. But the problem is like you can't have the conversation, which
Well,
is like the problem.
one more analogy. When your car runs out of gas, you don't buy a new car. You put more gas in the tank. Thank you. Seriously, that was a good one.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm at. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
you don't just throw it away because you temporarily lost feelings, because feelings come and go.
Well, but again, I think that what you are describing, right, is the difference between a grown-up, legit relationship versus one that isn't. Because in a legit grown-up relationship, you have two parties that are there to make it work, that have that level of commitment. And I get
Correct.
that there's multiple reasons why people may have an issue with that, right? It could be financial stuff, could be attachment disorders, could be turn out to be gay, whatever. It doesn't matter what the reason is,
I'm
but you
still
do
waiting
need,
for you to come out of the closet, and T's going to be super surprised.
truthfully, if I ever did, she probably wouldn't be surprised.
Hmm.
I think all bets are off with me, and that's one of the things that T digs about me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet glasses, by the way.
Thank you very much. Dude, I don't know how you just stare into your light. Once I had put the sunglasses on, I was like, I get why I see a lot of podcasters doing this.
Where are your lights at? Mine are on, like, coming from this
Right
direction
there.
and coming from this. Oh,
Right
because
there.
mine are coming from like this. They're like on the sides of me.
Yours are coming on the sides of you?
Yeah. Oh.
So the thing that I can tell you right now, T will listen to this and she'll laugh her butt off. The thing that I know, like I cop to a lot of stuff, and like I'm not perfect, so like there are things that I have to like come around to, like if she calls me out where I have to think about it. But at this point in our relationship, I've gotten to a point where not only am I very receptive, she is as well, and as long as we have the conversation, we both have enough like level of introspection to like take that in and like think about it. And but the big thing is historically, she has been known to take things from one place and put them in another. And so because of that history, I will be awful sure of myself and I'll be calling her out and giving her grief over moving something. And I got to say, in recent years, I'm probably only batting 40 to 50% on that. She's gotten a lot better, and I've had to really eat my words when she's proved me wrong.
Well, as long as you can own up to your mistakes quickly and not get defensive about it, that is showing up for your partner.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And
Yep.
yep. And you got to remember that I don't know if you guys still do it. I'm guessing you do. I mean, not that.
Yeah, no, we
But
do.
do you guys still date each other?
Absolutely. We,
You
truthfully
you
though,
have to do that.
yeah, we had not been good about it in recent years. Mostly, most recently, obviously, because I didn't feel well for a long, long time. But we have made it. I have a newfound obsession with, of course, the restaurant's escaping my name right now. What is it? It's not Longhorn. It's the other one.
A Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
I figured you'd
My
like the
God, what a good
biscuits.
steak. What a good steak. The loaded baked potato. Oh my God. But yeah, we've been making it a point to go out at least once a month to just have like a date night.
So in my prior relationship, we usually did one date night at least every other week.
Yeah, and that was enough for
Eh,
him?
Yes, it was. And we usually went on vacation at least once a month,
Yeah,
or maybe once every other month. I mean,
that's hardcore, man.
it was pretty hardcore. We actually were very invested in, like, keeping that together. That's why it was such a shocker that it just was an
I wanted to
abrupt.
just make the hand signal, but I'm gonna be above it.
Please do. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you never know.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, but again, that's
but
why.
then again, I think that's where it comes back to the lack of, well, it's communication, and then it was also probably the lack of appreciation, a lack of the
Investment on both
the,
sides.
the investment. No, the investment was one-sided.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. The lack of
Oh,
investment on
okay.
both sides. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, the investment was one-sided, and I realize that now. And also the lack of words of affirmation. I mean, the only thing I needed to feel good, thank you, would have saved everything. I mean, seriously, you don't understand in a relationship what a simple gesture, thank you, I appreciate what you did.
Yeah.
That's it.
Man, if you ever like find somebody that can provide what you need, you're gonna have won the lottery, you know?
No,
I
exactly. I
really
mean, that's
hope
what
I really hope that someday you find somebody really special that can provide.
she's already on her way to me, I'm sure.
I hope so, man. Because you
I think
deserve it.
so.
You
I
deserve
know.
it.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't need much in my life. I just need
Well, a partner, a
appreciation.
true partner,
A true partner that appreciates the things the small things, the big things. Just,
but
just,
more small than big.
yeah. Well, I mean, she's gonna have to get used to small things.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And if you can have a partner that appreciates the small things, I mean, it's all downhill from there.
Yes, it's all downhill. This guy.
No, but yeah. No, but yeah.
No, but yeah, kinda, but sorta.
Do you think that that right there is a great snippet for a little short? No, but yeah, but kind of,
No,
sort
but
of.
yes, but kinda, but short of.
And yeah, that's a deep thought from the Enlightened Normal Dudes.
Yes, you've been enlightened.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I
Get
think
enlightened.
enlightened. I don't know that this means what you think it does. Um, yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head, though. I think that in a relationship, the key is to grow together. And
Exactly.
you need two people mutually invested in one another that are capable and willing of introspection so that they want to grow personally, which allows them to grow within the relationship together. And like when you have that, man, you got something bulletproof. You
Well, I
got
mean,
something that you can take to the end of time.
just think, you keep investing in a stock, you keep investing in a stock, you keep investing, and then you're like, I wonder where I'm at with this stock, and there's nothing there, and you're like, why would I keep investing in this stock?
Enron.
And it's Enron. It was like Enron at the bubble. It's like, hey, I'm gonna
Exactly.
keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it, and
No,
and
man.
then at the end of I mean, you're talking about your time, your effort, your money, your everything,
But to be
your
fair,
life.
as we have like unpacked this and done kind of like an autopsy on that, you have articulated that you now see a lot of signs that you should have maybe looked at. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah. Because, and again, I know that you had a relationship that you really cared about this person, not taking anything away from that.
No.
But in looking and breaking it down objectively, you see that lack of mutual investment.
Exactly. It was the investment factor, if
Yeah.
you want to boil it down.
And that's a huge thing. Like you need somebody that not only is invested in you, but shows it in little ways, right? Just by, sending you a nice text or saying thank you for something or willing to pay the bill or, go to a concert and buy a t-shirt for you, just random stuff like that. What? But really, like if you find somebody that's like just really sweet and cares about you, that's beautiful.
All right.
Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking, you're correct.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. All
All
right.
right.
Maybe she's already on her way.
I think she probably is because the universe has been very kind to you lately.
I know karma has been very, very good to me lately.
Yeah.
And like I said the last time, I'm like, all right, karma, slow down a little bit because you're scaring me now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes too much of a good thing is a bad thing. It's like,
but
karma,
But you just,
Karma,
dude,
slip,
you've got it
pump the
down
brakes a
now.
little bit.
You've got it down now. Like the way you've got this positive investment cycle going in yourself and whatnot, it's like
Well, you got the
you're
same thing going
karma's
on.
manager, you know? Like you
Yeah,
know how to manage karma in a
you're like the
really
you're
good
like the
way.
same thing. You just can't be the D word in no mo. You just can't. You got to be.
Now we're the D word. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, apparently that was the wrong word last week.
I thought it was the right word. I thought it made awesome clips.
All right, well, you can't be a dick no more.
Hashtag don't be a dick. Merch
Hashtag
coming.
merch coming.
Ah, get it?
Merch coming.
Hashtag don't be a dick. Merch coming.
It's getting hot in here.
All
All
right.
right, well, next week's Thanksgiving.
I have heard that.
Um, so we're not gonna go into the what's
Wait,
on
you're
the screen
referring
there.
to Indigenous Peoples Day.
No, it's gonna be Thanksgiving. I'm pretty
What were
sure
you
they
saying?
didn't eat turkey. I'm pretty sure they didn't eat turkey on Thanksgiving, like the original Thanksgiving.
Who knows, man?
I don't know what they were eating. Um, bring a dish and everyone can fight over the deep fried turkey balls.
Deep fried turkey balls a thing?
I don't know. What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Uh, hmm. What am I doing for Thanksgiving, sir?
I don't know.
Working.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I am working night shifts.
Yeah, but I mean that's not until 7 o'clock. So I mean,
I
what are you
can't
doing?
even imagine like the people that have the stones to like participate in eating on Thanksgiving and then go do a night shift. They deserve the Medal of Honor. I will not be doing that.
It is either time and a half or double time though.
No, listen, hey, I'm not complaining, man. It is what it is. But you asked me what I'm doing on Thanksgiving. I'm just giving you the answer. No, it's all good.
Okay.
I think T said too that we're going to have like a Thanksgiving on a different day.
Are you gonna do some
I didn't really
shopping?
catch what day she said because I was looking at her and just thinking this girl's so beautiful. And I couldn't even hear what she was saying.
She said, "Are you even paying attention to me?" And you said, "That's an interesting way to start a
And I
conversation."
said, God, that blouse is low.
Are you gonna do some shopping the next day?
You know, I do have a problem with Black Friday shopping. I'm
We don't
curious to see
we
if,
call that just shopping.
well, yeah, yeah. But no, I mean, I don't go like buck wild, but like if there's like really good deals, I definitely like hitting like Home Depot, Lowe's to see if there's like any like really good deals on tools, stuff like that.
You want to know
Um,
a great day to buy a firearm would be is Black Friday.
is it really?
Yeah, it takes about 4 hours for your background screen to come through because everyone else is buying them that day too.
Yeah, well, like if you go into the store that day, yeah, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm.
So
Do they actually
always,
have good deals? Like I truthfully have never like really paid attention on a Black Friday. I mean, I know there's deals on other stuff, but
yeah,
I've never.
it depends on where you go, but there's some
Yeah.
stores that do have some really
Mm,
good deals.
mm,
Bass Pro Shop usually has some decent ones, and Shooters up in Jacksonville usually do.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm
Um,
sure if you go into a store, you're a lunatic if you go into a gun store on Black Friday.
I have no desire to go shopping at all that day.
No, like
Cyber Monday, I don't deal with
well,
crowds, man.
Cyber Monday and online, like, dude, when I do Black Friday, like I used to really like the actual Black Friday shopping. It was fun. Like the last time I really went was probably, I don't know, probably like 7 years ago. And the last thing I remember getting on a Black Friday was the Arlo security cameras. There was a really good deal at Walmart when they were like still the hot stuff. And then there was a Black Friday that I went actually at midnight, like the night before. I forget exactly which night. Yeah, yeah. I went, it was Thursday that night. And T actually went and stayed in line with me at GameStop, I think, to get a PlayStation 4 and a game that was
Yeah,
coming
I
out. I forget
forgot
what
you're
it
a
was.
PlayStation guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Xbox or nothing, man.
No, well, I mean, I have a job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah, you do. But you don't actually play Xbox.
I don't.
You just have it so that you can point to it like an accoutrement.
Yeah, basically, it's just a glorified
It's
Blu-ray player
yeah,
or whatever.
it's just like garnish of your house.
That's basically. I'm not even sure it turns on.
She said.
She did say that. My gosh, get a new one.
Tough crowd.
What would you be doing if you weren't working on Thanksgiving?
Usually we would have a little get together. My sister and her boyfriend, who live up in St. Augustine now, usually come over and we just have a little like Friendsgiving.
No, nice.
And it's nice. I mean, we'll usually like play Nintendo Switch, play Mario Party and stuff, and just hang out. Usually a good
I
time.
will
But
not be participating in work this year, just so you know.
well, that's what happens when you're a big kahuna.
Yes, I am aware. I will be participating in macaroni and cheese
Nothing wrong with that.
and turkey and stuffing
Where are you going?
to my aunt's house.
That's cool.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. Get to see some family that I see like twice a year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and
Yeah.
do all the family events.
Maybe next year you'll have somebody really special to bring with you.
Maybe.
You know,
Who
Santa.
knows what the universe will
If
provide?
or Santa. You know,
Who knows?
there's some pretty sophisticated real dolls out there. Santa might hook you up.
2025 has been a crazy year. I actually feel like that I've lived in 2 years in 2025.
Been a lot, bro.
Like, January to July has been like a year, and then August to now has been a year. Like, it's really weird. Like, I feel like I've lived in 2 separate years this year.
I can empathize with that. Hey, what are you doing? Come here. Come here.
Very crazy.
Come on. The other guys they've made appearances. You don't want to make an appearance? You want to be famous? Come on. No, he dipped. The pug doesn't want to be on.
All 3 of our followers, we're going to bedazzle them.
Oh, I got him. I got him. The pug is going on for a cameo. You're fine. Calm down. Look, you're famous now.
Can barely even see him.
Hey. Look, you're famous.
He's too dark.
You can't say that. Look at this soul patch. Look at that soul patch right there.
So something very interesting that T and Cory have been doing lately is Elf on a Shelf.
What'd you think of the one I sent you today?
Very, very creative.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of the first one? Because that one was a good one too. And you can actually show the first one.
Yeah, the second one, that's a little risque. Although
I don't think that the second one's a wise choice to show.
Agreed. But yes, the one that my wife did right here. Give it a second. There we go. So the elf got a little hammered on Captain Morgan's and threw up all of his sprinkles.
And says, boy, it can't hang.
So yeah, this was a fun thing. I actually got this idea from one of the girls at work. We were talking and she was just talking about Elf on the Shelf with her kids and how much fun it is. And I was like, I never did Elf on a Shelf. My mom was awesome for Christmas. Like we had like amazing Christmas. There was presents everywhere.
I'm pretty sure back in the 70s when you were a kid that Elf on a Shelf wasn't a thing.
That's probably a fair point. But anyways, I felt like I missed out when I was talking to her. And I was like, I'm going to get an Elf on the Shelf because T and I would just have fun like being silly with it. And we really have. So I highly recommend, even if you do not have children, if you have a spouse and you guys have a good relationship that's, built on some a good sense of humor, then I highly recommend getting an Elf on the Shelf and having at it.
Yep, I agree. It actually looked very entertaining, and that looks like something that would be very fun to partake in.
Yeah, maybe someday you can do that with a really special person.
Maybe. Elf in a bubble bath with wine and a rubber ducky.
If you look up like online, I mean, obviously we're just winging it and we're just having fun. Like you can get really creative, but people have done like some crazy ones, like really super creative stuff.
No, that's awesome.
It's fun.
So, did we talk about some new merch that you got going on now?
Yeah, so we are making some shirts.
And Cory's mom wherever you are.
We are not making my mom.
The shirt idea probably won't work out, but I am going to make, once Cory gives me the stickers, we're going to make you
Did you say a bedazzled phallus?
a bedazzled chalice.
Chalice, not a phallus. Chalice.
Bedazzled chalice. And then I'm going to make a second one, and we'll give it out to somebody else. We'll
It
figure
sounds
that
like-
we'll figure that out on one of the episodes. We'll do a time lapse and show you like the bedazzling process. Might be pretty entertaining to watch.
Yeah, and how about we'll give one of the chalices out to whoever drops a comment first on this episode and gives us a little blurb about what they think the modern man should look like
There you go.
and what
That's
it means to
great
be
one.
a man.
Yeah,
And
maybe
in a positive way. We genuinely don't want any DB remarks. We want to know, in today's day and age, what are the attributes that a modern man should have to help society come together and cultivate a
cultivate. Well, I was going to say cultivate a healthy relationship with friends, family, significant others.
Yeah, no, but 100%, exactly. Like what does the man that we need for society in general? Obviously, we can take all different types of people, and everybody contributes. But in occupying these general roles that nature has us in, what does the modern
I'm
man
going
look
to create more of these hats that are bedazzled that say "I cry in my truck."
I think that's dope.
I think that
I think we're working on a lot of good stuff that we can make merch for. Hashtag I cry in my truck. Hashtag don't be a dick.
Yeah, I think that one's already taken.
Hashtag that one's already taken.
You're coming up with some pretty good ideas. So we're just going to, you know what? We don't even know what you're going to get. We're just going to send you a random hashtag.
That'd be kind of funny, actually.
Hashtag random hashtag.
Hashtag random hashtag. Hashtag you get what you get.
Hashtag you should have known better. Hashtag badonk donk.
Okay. Hashtag okay.
Okay.
So,
Oh my God.
do you have any closing thoughts?
I don't have any closing thought. I'm just, like I said, always be grateful for what you have.
Hashtag always be grateful for what you have.
Hashtag we're going into Thanksgiving. Show gratitude. If you see someone in need, please help them out. Give. If you have the opportunity to help a neighbor, help a family member, help a coworker.
Absolutely. This is the season of
not
only gratitude, but if you are somebody that has done well for yourself and not that, anything's been given to you, you've worked for it, well, whatever your story is, take some of that gratitude and give back a little.
Exactly. Always thank the universe. Always thank God. Be Buddha. Be grateful for your friends and family. Try and relate to somebody this week.
Try to relate to somebody not like yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do it with Cory every day.
Talk. We talk.
We talk.
Yeah.
We don't have relations.
Right.
Correct.
We don't. I do it with Shaun every day.
Yeah. If you want to see some past clips, we have some shorts on YouTube as well.
And
we have them on
TikTok.
Instagram and Tiki Talk. I think they're on Apple iTunes now.
They are.
Spotify.
Mm-hmm. And YouTube, you can get the audio too.
Oh, I did not know that.
If that's the way that you prefer to receive it.
Listen, I'm just the producer.
And Shaun, just out of curiosity, how would you prefer to receive it?
In $100 bills, but that's how I'd prefer it.
I'm here for it.
Yes, that's usually how I would prefer to receive it. In the TikTok shop.
In the TikTok shop, yeah. Yeah.
So, that being said, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Pass this along to some friends and family that you think might benefit from our message. And hopefully we can continue to enlighten you guys.
Yeah, and please I think we would really like to generate comments and conversation. I think something that we're going to have to look to do in the future is lives. I think that's really where conversations have, because you can go back and forth with people in real time.
Yeah.
But until then, it would be really cool if people could weigh in and be part of the conversation, and in particular with this episode and talking about um, what the modern man should look like and what attributes we think would be healthy and positive, beneficial to society. Be great for people to chime in and see what their thoughts are and generate some conversation.
Yep. And if you guys want to check out a really cool book, it's by Pastor Joby Martin of the 1122 Church. It's called Stand Up and Act Like a Man. Really powerful message.
Right, and so we'll put a link to that in the description. If you, when you have time, sir, get that link over to me, and I
Yep,
will
will
also
do.
provide links to Scott Galloway's notes on being a man. But again, any of these different voices, there is no monolith of what it should be. But I think it's a really good discussion, and I think that we should be encouraging young men to find purpose. And so
Exactly.
whatever that looks like, as long as it's positive and a net benefit to society, we need to be cultivating these young guys and helping them find their way.
Yep. And if you haven't done it this week, thank a healthcare worker.
Absolutely. If you haven't done it any day, thank a healthcare worker
Exactly. And a first responder and a
and a first
veteran.
responder
You
and
know
a
what? Just
veteran.
thank everybody. Just doesn't matter who it is. Just thank whoever you
Hashtag
see.
thank one. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Just
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I like it.
All right, guys. Well, you guys have a great evening. Cory,